guys, it's Siffa. I hope everyone's doing well. So I'm going to do a little video on dating, sex, and self-injury scars. I think a lot of people worry about dating and sex and intimacy when they have scars or when they're self-injuring. It's something that everyone's kind of really ashamed and self-conscious of, so I think it's important that talk about a little bit about tips and tricks and ways to go about this. So first of all, I guess the first question is how do you tell them or show them your scars, like if you're dating? And for the sake of this video, I'm going to talk about a girl showing a guy, but this applies for men showing women also. So if you're a girl and you're dating a guy, when do you tell him? When do you show him? How does that happen? Do you wait for him to just find them, or do you tell him beforehand? Honestly, I think that's all up to your comfort level, but I do believe that it might give you a peace of mind to tell him first. And that way, if you are kind of in an intimate situation, or if he sees it accidentally, then he's not not shocked, but he's not surprised. And that way, if you tell him beforehand, then you can feel out if he's going to be like a dick about it or not. And you can kind of feel out if you should keep seeing him or not. Depending on how, how far you're progressing with seeing the guy. But I would try to bring it up, not immediately, but, when you feel safe, I would bring it up. But definitely before you show him or have sex or whatever, I think it's important to bring it up before then. Now, of course, you're going to feel ashamed and embarrassed of them, when you show a partner for the first time, or maybe every time, I think we all hide and we're all scared to show and get negative reactions. But one thing to remember, too, is that if you are, close to a man or woman and if you are, going to have sex with someone, that, trust me, they're not worried about your scars. They just aren't. They're more concerned about pleasing you and you pleasing them. They're more concerned about the intimacy. So they probably won't even notice, or they might not even, care. Because, that's not what they're concerned about in the moment. In the moment, they're concerned about sexuality and intimacy and close bonding feelings. They're not going to be as worried. They're not going to be looking at your scars. Trust me, they're going to be looking at your body and, viewing you not for your scars. So I wouldn't worry about that. Now, although if you are dating someone and you are, if you do relapse, in my opinion, I would not show them until it's healed and it's turned into a scar. Especially if you're dating someone new that you've never shown your scars before, I would definitely wait until they've healed up. If you do relapse, of course. And, I would not, I don't know, I just think it's, I would not show someone, something that's still healing, especially a new person that you don't know. If it's someone you've been dating for a long time, that could be different. But for someone you don't know very well, or for someone you've only been dating for a little while, that's never seen your scars maybe, I would definitely wait until your scars are completely healed up and have, turned into scars. Not scars healed up, but the wound is healed up and turned into scars. So yeah, obviously it's best to show someone that you have some trust in already. So I would wait until you get to know the person a little bit better. So it's not just someone that you've dated for, a week or two. I would wait to get to know the person. That way you can kind of gauge how their reaction is going to be anyway. Because I hear these stories about people having horrible reactions to their self-injury. And I think that's because they don't get to know the person well enough at first. And if you get to know the person, I think sometimes you can have a better idea of what the reaction's going to be. And that can definitely help. So get to know the person first, and you can kind of gauge what their reaction will be. If you can come to trust them, and if they develop feelings for you, and if you have feelings for them, then they're less likely to react negatively to your scars. The other thing, too, is that sometimes scars can be painful or itchy. So sometimes during sex, it can actually be painful if you're touching or in different positions and stuff. It can be painful to have sex, or if you have healing cuts, or whatever. It can be painful. So that's another thing to keep in mind also, is that, it's a good reason to wait for them to heal up and be with someone that you really trust so they can be conscious and help you with it, if you're experiencing pain. So yeah, I guess the last thing I wanted to say is that my experience has been only good with my self-harm scars and dating. But it's also a good thing to remember that my scars are so faded, they're white. They've been white for years now, because it's been such a long time. And so I've never had a bad experience. I've only really shown, I don't know, maybe just maybe like a handful of guys have. I don't really sleep around a lot. So not like that's a bad thing though. That's not a bad thing. But not very many guys have seen my scars. But every time they have, they've either just completely ignored them, or you know, been really understanding about it, or said something like. Sometimes they'll say something like, "Oh, I still think you're beautiful," which is a little bit weird thing to say, but you know, they don't know what to say. And if they say something, kind of go easy on them, because it's hard to know what to say when you see something like that, you know? So they might not say the perfect thing, but just be aware that, I mean, it is something that people aren't used to, and so they're gonna try to make you feel comfortable. And it might not be exactly the right words, but just remember that they are trying to make you feel comfortable. And so they might say something like, "Oh, they're bad, but it doesn't take away from your beauty," or "I still think you're beautiful," or something like that. And they're trying to make you feel better, so don't worry too much about that. But yeah, I've had quite a few guys see my scars, and yeah, they've just ignored them or said something. And every guy I've only really dated 2 guys, and they didn't even mind at all. At least I don't think they did, but it was never like a problem. It was never an issue. They still touch my legs. They still think my legs are sexy. They still touch them, and it's nice. You know, it's nice to feel not judged with your intimate partner. If anyone has any experiences with intimacy, sex, and self-injury scars, put it in the comment below. Like, subscribe, and comment. Love you guys.